If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Just checking, just checking.
Hi, I'm Drew Carey, and you're about to experience something very special. I'm going to introduce you to somebody who's not only very funny, but he also has a great message for you.
Boy, I just know something horrible's gonna happen.
You want to know what, my friends? If you can't enjoy what it is that you do for a living, then you shouldn't be doing it at all.
He's going to show you how to create a healthy attitude and how to enjoy yourself when times are tough without drugs. If you're into that.
I wanna go home. I wanna go home.
He's a friend of mine. I'm not getting paid for this endorsement or to be on this tape at all. Proud to be here. Please welcome Steve Rizzo.
Let me tell you the real reason why I'm here. I'm here very simply, folks, to show you all how to acquire the attitude that you need to succeed on all levels of life while enjoying the process. There within lies the key phrase, my friends, while enjoying the process, because it seems to be something that most of us leave by the wayside. Especially when we're setting out to achieve our goals and we want to accomplish something, we get so caught up that enjoying ourselves becomes secondary. You know, I would wager any amount of money that most of the people in this room, when you were writing out your plans and your goals for the future, nowhere on that list did you include enjoying yourself during the process. Instead, what we have a tendency to do is that we create these dangerous mindsets, and we say things like this to ourselves. You know what? I'll enjoy myself when I achieve the goal. I'll enjoy myself when I get to where I want to go. Right now, there are too many things happening in my life, too many changes taking place. When everything calms down and things start going the way I want them to go, then I'll enjoy myself. Whew. You have any idea what you're doing when you say these things to yourself? You're literally putting your happiness on hold. You are actually convincing yourself that your happiness is dependent upon something that has to take place at some point in the future. That's insane. And you want to know why it's insane? Because happiness will always be a couple of steps ahead of you. My friends, the time to enjoy yourself is in the now, in the moment of whatever it is that you are trying to achieve. Whether you're cleaning the garage, raising a family, or going to work, it is your right to enjoy yourself. In fact, every morning, as soon as you wake up, create a healthy belief system and say to yourself, every morning, I'm going to enjoy this day. That's not to say that you're not going to be confronted with challenges and problems. Of course you will. But what I am saying is that you will be able to bounce back a lot faster from those challenges and those problems because you're arming yourself with the bounce back factor. You're starting your day off with a very healthy mindset. This is how you take control of your lives. You determine whether you're going to enjoy the day, not outside circumstances. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking at all of you right now. Well, not all of you, there's 8,000 people here, but I'm looking at most of you right now. And I don't care who you are, and I don't care how much money you make, and I don't care how many things you own. The bottom line is this: if you are not happy, you are not successful. So the tools that I will be giving you here today so that you can acquire this attitude to succeed on all levels of life while enjoying the process are what I call the attitools for success. There are only 3 of them. The first attitude for success is the power of choice. To understand and to utilize the power of choice to work for you, not against you. You know, you cannot stop life from throwing stuff at you. You can't. It's impossible. You cannot stop the unexpected from interfering with your goals and your dreams, but you can always choose how to respond once these things are thrown. You can always choose the state of mind you want to be in once these things are thrown. You need to understand that your entire life is based on the choices that you make. And for every single choice you make, whether it's made consciously or unconsciously, there is a consequence. In fact, I'm looking at you all right now. Where you are at this point in your life is based on choices that you made at some point in the past. Those choices are the key factors that determine the quality of life that you have right now, personally and professionally. Now, if you don't like the way your life is going on any level, it's time for you to sit down, to reflect, and make different choices. And as you're doing this, and I can't stress this enough, especially with what you folks do for a living, understand this. Your sense of humor is your sense of perspective. It's a choice we all have on how to deal with so much of the stuff that life throws at us every day. I have studied this thing, humor, for years. In fact, I'm an expert on humor. I am a PhD, a professional humor being. And I have found that humor literally nips negative thought patterns, negative emotions in the bud before they blossom into emotional havoc. Let me give you an example. Here's a question, be honest. How many of you get upset when you're in traffic? Raise your hand. How many people get upset in traffic? Okay, most of us and the rest of us don't drive. Okay, good. Are you aware that the mood that you're in as a result of this traffic jam will probably determine the mood you're going to be in for the whole day? That doesn't sound very promising, does it? Especially if you have a business meeting to go to. Maybe a meeting with a client. Maybe it's your anniversary. Maybe it's your kid's birthday. Think about it. That mood can pretty much ruin the entire day. So let me ask you this, my friends. Why don't you laugh when you're in traffic? Why don't you laugh when the workload is too much? Why don't you laugh when the kids are getting on your nerves? Look at the looks I'm getting. Right now, half of you, you're giving me that Archie Bunker look. Well, it's because it's not funny there, meathead. Well, make it funny. Do what I do. When I'm in traffic, I know I have a choice. There's that word again, choice. You always have a choice. I can either get into a bad mood or a good mood. Now, folks, I'm figuring if I have a choice, I'm going to do anything I possibly can do to keep me from getting in that bad mood. Why? Because I know the repercussions. I know what happens to me when I get angry. And this is what we need to do, and we don't do this. Whenever you are in the middle of a negative emotion of any kind, at some point, you literally have to stop yourself and say, whoa, where is this going to take me? If you don't like the answer, know that you have the power to change the outcome. So when I'm in traffic and I think I'm going to lose it, I do something completely out of the ordinary to step myself out of it, and I do this. I turn into the lion from The Wizard of Oz. I figure it's going to be hours before I get home, so what the heck, I'm going to have fun. Everyone else is angry, their blood pressure's going high, they're beeping the horns, they're cursing at each other. Watch them, it's insane out there, not me. If you ever look at me in traffic, I'm looking right back going... I want to go home. I want to go home. Oh, you laugh. People in the next car are going, don't look at him and he won't say anything. Oh my God, he's a pervert, honey. He's got a New York license plate. Lock the door. Look straight ahead. Don't look at him. He's probably naked from the waist down. Don't look at him. So you might think I'm crazy, and so might everyone else that's in traffic, but here's the point, and a very important point. At least I know I'm not going to work in a bad mood. I'm not meeting with a client in a bad mood. I'm not going home in a bad mood. As a matter of fact, my friends, you want to know what? No matter where it is that I am going, no matter what it is that I am doing, I am going there, and I am doing it in a really good mood. My energy level is cranked. It's up here instead of down here. Do you want to know why? Basic psychology. I was able to change my state of mind. I did this all by myself. I was able to go from a potentially bad mood to a good mood just by getting in tune with my humor being. We all have the power to do this. This is the second attitude for success, my friends, to unleash the power of your humor being on a daily basis. You know, we go through the course of our lives, and we let circumstances, situations, and events and people to suck the energy right out of us because we don't know we have a choice. We don't know that we have tools that can turn this around.
Hello, I'm James Tipton, and welcome to Inside the Speaker Studio. Today we are proud to have as our guest renowned author, motivational humorist, Lion.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. It's good to be here.
You've come a long way in your life.
Yes.
What was it like growing up on the streets of Brooklyn?
Oh, I'll tell you, Jimmy, it was a jungle out there. It was really tough.
How tough was it?
Well, I'll tell you how tough it was. You ever see a Brooklyn cop? Freeze! Every time I went to McDonald's, I had to yell out, cover me, I'm going for a Happy Meal. Hey, folks, here's a typical stranger in my old neighborhood.
Excuse me, but can you tell me the time, or should I just drop dead again?
That kills me.
He's on a roll today, folks.
Hey, Jimmy, nice tie. I remember when it was in style.
We'll be back with more of Lion after this message.
Your humor being, my friends, is of your higher self. It is the part of you that brings out the best in you when times get really tough. I am not your typical speaker. I'm not here to give you the nuts and bolts of what it is that you do for a living. I'm just here to give you a foundation to walk on. Because what do you do when change takes place? It's such a tremendous rate when all of the knowledge and all of the information and everything that you know about what it is that you do for a living just doesn't apply anymore. And I hope you're all aware of the consequences when you allow fear, self-doubt, and overwhelm and stress to determine the choices you make and the actions that you take. With what you do for a living, you can't afford that. That's why you need a strong foundation. And I'm here to tell you that your humor being can help to give you that foundation. You ever been in this situation, a public situation, where you don't even know the person, someone's in a bad mood, and all of a sudden you notice you're getting in a bad mood? I used to do that all the time, then I realized no more. First time I said I have a sense of humor, I have a humor being, I'm going to use it. I started using my humor being in public situations. First time I realized it worked, and I'm not kidding, this is a true story, I was in the Midwest, I had to do some shopping. The only store that was open was a Kmart store. Woman behind the register had a major attitude problem, big. It was so bad that I noticed everyone that was in line in back of me started getting in a bad mood because of her. And the guy in back of me is going, who does she think she is? I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna give her a piece of my mind. And I'm like, ooh, great, that's all we need. Somebody with no mind at all is gonna give somebody a piece of it. So I'm thinking the old me, I would have told her off and I would have walked away, but what would have been solved? Nothing. Just would have made it worse. You know what the new me did? And I did this. I'm online, I'm at Kmart, everyone's looking at me, took off my shoe, put it by my ear, and I went, hello, Chief.
Yes, it's Max. Well, I'm at Kmart, and apparently the woman behind the register is a spy. How can I tell? She has a bug up her butt.
I had everyone in this line in tears, hysterical. As a matter of fact, the guy in back of me said, hey, can I use your shoe? I have to call my wife. Everyone that was in an incredibly bad mood was in an incredibly great mood. What an incredible turn of events. They were clapping, hugging me, thanking me. Woman behind the register, she didn't get it at all. No, believe me, folks, hey, listen, she was more upset then than she was before. I mean, she looked at me and she said, you're an idiot. That is so stupid, a grown man talking to his shoe. There's no phone in there. And I'm like, oh, geez, the lights are on, but the dingbat ain't home. I learned a very important lesson that day. Please remember this. Some people refuse to acknowledge that they have a humor being. State troopers refuse to acknowledge that they have a humor being. Now here's a list of things you should never ever say to a state trooper. Can I see a license and registration, please? Sure, you want to hold my beer? Didn't you see that stop sign? Yep, saw it, just didn't see you hiding behind it. Are you drinking? Well, I don't know, are you buying? Well, wise guy, it looks like I'm gonna have to give you a ticket for speeding. Great, could you make it quick? Because it's pretty apparent I'm in a hurry. Hey, you know what I always wanted to do? I want to share this with you. You know what I always wanted to do? I haven't done this yet, but I will promise you all I will do this someday. I always wanted to get pulled over by a cop, roll down the window and go, "You're not going to check the trunk, are you?" Why not? I also always wanted to get on the PA system of a plane and go, "Ha, this is your captain. Hey, listen, do me a favor. Hold on and fasten your seatbelt. I'm going to try something I once saw in a cartoon." See, you laugh, but I do stuff like this, my friends. This is how I reduce stress. I know what stress is. I fly 400,000 miles a year. That's domestic alone. Sometimes I'm in 5 cities in 8 days. Sometimes I have a half day or a full day seminar to give, and I am dragging. And the only thing, and I'm going to share something with you, the only thing that juices me more than anything else is when I do something crazy in a public setting and people don't get it. It's the ones that don't get it that crack me up, man. Like, for instance, when I was in Vegas not too long ago, you know how crowded Vegas can get, right? If you ever been there, I was at the MGM. I have a half-day seminar to give. Just got off the plane. I'm dragging. I go onto the elevator. I said, I need energy. The elevator door closes. There were 12 people on the elevator. I don't turn around, and I'm looking at them like this. Just got out of prison. Now, some people were laughing, but the thing that cracked me up were the ones that are going, oh, we got to get out now, we got to get out now, we got to get out now. And I'm like, why can't they lighten up? They couldn't get into the fun. People did, but they couldn't, and that's what cracks me up. I'm in hotels all the time, and I'm always cracking jokes with the hotel staff. I love to do it because they are taught to be polite and rigid. I was at the Ritz-Carlton a while back. I will never forget this. Maid service knocked on my door and said, Mr. Rizzo, can I turn down your bed? I opened up the door and I said, why, is it too loud? She didn't get it. I mean, she went walk away and go, no, I'm confused. Why is he doing this to me? I'm just trying to do my job. I don't know why he said that. And then I go back to my room, I'm at the Ritz-Carlton, and I go to sleep, and I notice as I'm turning down my pillow that there's a piece of chocolate on my pillow. And I'm like, what a stupid idea. Chocolate before you go to sleep? I called up the front desk. I said, yeah, thanks for the chocolate. Maybe tomorrow night you could put a vial of crack and a pot of coffee on my pillow. I think that'll help me sleep. You know what he said? Oh, I don't think we can do that. I think crack's illegal. I can't stress to you enough the importance of taking time out to laugh throughout the course of a day. It's a key to happiness, especially when you're confronted with challenging times. And I understand this, my friends. You know, I understand that sometimes our problems, your problems, are so overwhelming that you just can't find the laughter. But understand this. That's when you need it the most. Do you want to know what happy people know? Happy people know they're going to have sad days. Happy people know they're going to have bad times. Happy people are not exempt from the trials and tribulations of life. In fact, some of the happiest, most successful people that I know had to overcome insurmountable odds to get to where they are right now. In fact, some of them are going through some major stuff right now as I'm talking to you. But they all have this incredible way of shifting perspective. That is to say that they allow themselves to temporarily step away from those situations that are causing them pain or bringing them down. And they immediately start focusing their attention on what's working in their lives instead of concentrating and staying fixated on what isn't working. They bless the things that life has given them instead of cursing the things that life hasn't given them or cursing the things that life has taken from them. And they all have this uncanny way of finding the laughter in between the pain. They don't ignore the pain, they don't run from the pain, they simply find the laughter in between the pain. We all have the power to do this. This is what I call a power shift in focus. This is what I coach people to do when I speak. A power shift in focus replenishes your spirit, it nourishes your soul, the very essence of who you are. So that when you eventually do go back to those situations that are bringing you down and causing you pain, which you inevitably do have to do, you notice that it won't be as overwhelming as it was before. Why? Because you're connected to your higher self. You're putting yourself in a position where you are in control of the situation. You've calmed your nervous system down to the point where you can take some kind of control.
Welcome back to Inside the Speaker Studio. Our guest today is Lion. Not only are you one of the country's most requested speakers, but also a wonderful actor.
Thank you.
In fact, we have a clip from your new play, which is getting rave reviews.
Yes, it is.
The Wizard of Sales.
Yeah, I bet you can't even make sales calls, can you?
Oh, you're right, I can't. Every time I go to dial a phone, I get all nervous and scared like.
Oh, well, did you try giving yourself a reward for making the calls, like a trip to the zoo?
I can't go to the zoo. It's like going over to my in-laws for the holidays.
Where's your pride?
Pride? Well, let me see. I got a cousin on Long Island, and I got an uncle doing time in Attica.
Not that pride.
Oh, all right. Gosh, fellas, I'm speechless.
In many ways, this play parallels the fears you had in your own life.
Yeah.
What helped you to overcome them?
Well, when I think about it, I would have to say that it was attitude. Yeah, definitely, it's attitude. And you want to know where I got that attitude, Jimmy? From the attitude adjuster himself, Steve Rizzo. Let me tell you something, folks. You're nothing without attitude. Think about it. What makes a champ out of a chump? It's attitude. What makes a park on the site of a waste dump? It's attitude. What makes a student ace a test when he studies all night trying to be his best? And with what does a jester do his jest? What takes you down from the bottom straight up to the top and gives you the courage to move forward after flop after flop? What has Steve Rizzo got that I ain't got?
Attitude.
You could say that again. Hey.
If there is anything that I would love for you all to walk away with more than anything else in the whole time that I'm up here, is the fact that you know that you have the power to experience any challenge in your life from a healthier perspective. Did you notice my choice of words? I didn't say some challenges. I said any challenge. And how you experience the challenges in your life, my friends, are by the thoughts that you keep programming in your brain day in and day out. This is the third attitude for success. To understand and to utilize the power of your thoughts to work for you, not against you. Understand this. The thoughts that you have about any challenge in your life will ultimately determine the outcome. It will determine the quality of success and happiness you're going to have in regards to that specific challenge. Contrary to what most people may think in this room, it is not the situation, it's not the circumstance, it's not the event that takes place in our lives that determines our quality of life. It's the thoughts that we have about it. And you want to know why? Because your thoughts about that challenge will either minimize or maximize the effect that that challenge has on you. And it's not your thoughts in and of themselves that gives them great power. It's what your thoughts create is what gives them such great power. Your thoughts formulate the beliefs that you have about that challenge. Your beliefs just don't come from anywhere. They come from constant programming from your thoughts. So if you're constantly walking around with negative thinking, you can bet your life, you can be certain that those thoughts are going to create a destructive belief system. For example, if you're walking around day in and day out from the moment that you wake up and you're saying things like this to yourself, as soon as you wake up in the morning, oh man, I can't believe this, I gotta go to work today, I don't know why I'm going, nobody appreciates anything I do, no matter how hard I try, I just get appreciation, it's absolutely ridiculous, I know it's gonna happen, I'm gonna go to work and all this stuff is gonna have to be done. Is somebody gonna come up to me and say, hey, you're doing a good job? No, I'm not gonna get that, but God forbid something should go wrong. Who's gonna get at me? I don't need this stuff. You know, when I first got this job, I was hired to do one thing and one thing only. All of a sudden now I'm doing 2, 3, 4, 5 things, getting paid the same amount of money. This is absolutely absurd. I don't need this. Well, these changes that are taking place, first they say we're gonna be over here, then we're gonna do it this way, let's do it that way. Why can't they make it the right? Oh, I know why they can't, because nobody cares about me. What do I have, victim on my forehead? I don't need this stuff. This is absurd. All these stupid technological advancements. I just learned how to work this stupid computer. Now somebody came up to me and said, oh, guess what? Now you have to learn a whole different way. Well, thanks for telling me, Sparky. I really appreciate that. And I am sick and tired of people coming up to me saying, maintain a healthy state of mind. You gotta be in control of your emotions. Oh, really? Well, what about my needs? Now, some of you are looking at me right now and you're going, does he work with us? How does he know that? I've never seen him around. How does he know that? I'm so glad you could laugh at this. That's healthy. You want to know the serious side? We do this a lot. This is negative self-talk, my friends. If there is anything that is going to keep you from being productive and successful in your life, it is 100% because of negative self-talk. If you want to know why your energy level is down here as soon as you're starting out the day when it should be up here, it's because of negative self-talk. If you want to know why you're having difficulty enjoying yourself during the process of whatever it is you're trying to achieve, it's because of negative self-talk. You literally have to stop and think about what you're thinking throughout the course of a day, because those thoughts are formulating your belief system. All you have to do when you wake up in the morning, and I kid you not when I say this, all you have to do is wake up, say this one little thing to yourself. Oh man, what else is going to happen today? That's all you have to say. And your brain will go, okay, I'll show you, and it will. It'll start spitting out all this information as to why your life isn't working, and before you know it, you start creating your own reality. Did you hear what I said? Your own reality, because it doesn't have to be true. But if you believe that it's true, that's all that matters in your world. You need to understand that your brain, your subconscious, does not know the difference between true or false. It only knows the information that you program into it. You could be creating a belief system that says work equals havoc, confusion, lack of appreciation. That is not conducive to being productive. And it definitely isn't conducive for you to enjoy yourself. And you want to know what, my friends? If you can't enjoy what it is that you do for a living, then you shouldn't be doing it at all. So your thoughts create your beliefs, and your thoughts also formulate the attitude that you have. This is so important. Because today, more than any other time in the history of this planet, you need a healthy attitude. A healthy attitude gives you resilience, the ability to bounce back, to deal with the ratio of no's that outweigh the s's, with the constant change that's always taking place in our lives. You want to know what kind of an attitude we need today? I kid you not when I say this. We need a New York attitude. I've always said, not just because I'm from New York, New Yorkers have that reputation. Nothing affects these people. They constantly bounce back. They have resilience. As I said, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. If there was ever a nuclear war, Brooklyn would survive. You know why? Because they simply wouldn't take that. They wouldn't. They'd be walking the streets going, hey, 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 hey! Get out of here! Stupid radiation. That's the attitude you need in life. You need to acquire the ability to shrug things off. When life is throwing something heavy at you, actually say out loud. This is what I say in my workshops. Say it out loud. Say, hey, 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 what do you think this is going to keep me from succeeding and enjoying my life? No way. Get out of here. You're in control of your life, not the situation. And you want to know how to acquire that New York attitude? I kid you not when I say this. Look at your cat. Every cat on this planet has a New York attitude. Am I right? How many people have cats in this room? Raise your hand. Am I right? Cats walk around like they are nature's gift to the animal kingdom. If cats could talk, they go meow, meow, bada bing, meow. Hey, I'm walking here. Why do you think they say cats have 9 lives? Because they have an attitude. They keep bouncing back. Nothing affects these animals. A cat could run, smack right into a wall, full force. You've seen them do it. Whoa, what a rush. And then walk away, bada bing, meow. You could take a cat, and I don't suggest you do this. If I had a cat right now and threw it in the air, it'll land on its feet every single time. Not only would it land on its feet, it would look at you as if to say, anything else you think you want to do to me, that tough guy? That's the attitude you need in life, my friends. What are you going to do when you hit a wall? Are you going to bounce back? Are you going to land on your feet? Or are you going to whine about it? The attitude you don't want to have is the attitude of a dog. I kid you not when I say that. Because I love my dogs. I have 3 labs. But they are the most neurotic animals on the face of this planet. They always have that stupid, guilty look on their face, even if they didn't do it. You know, you come home and you go, who made this mess? Oh, God, it must have been me. I'm so sorry I was walking. It came out apparently I'm not well. Don't yell at me. Look, my tail's between my legs. Oh, it's coming out again. I'm so embarrassed. Right? And the cat is hanging out in the living room going, what a moron. What is your problem? I did it and you take the blame. My friends, we have just briefly gone over the attitudes for success. And I'm going to make a promise to you right here and right now. I promise you, you start implementing these 3 attitudes right now. Within a week to 2 weeks, you will start noticing a major power shift on how you view the challenges in your life. And if you learn to master these 3 attitudes, that is to say, if you allow them to become a part of who you are, you can start taking control of your life instead of having life control you. I want to thank you all for being here, and thank you for sharing the laughter. You people are absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love you all. Thank you very much.
Rizzo!
Thank you, folks. Take care. Thank you.
Steve Rizzo. Rizzo.